If this message speaks to you, don't just like it, pass it on. Share it directly with someone who needs to hear it, because messages like this don't always reach everyone they should. Thank you and enjoy. The invisible rules and what they look like today. The first rule: inheritance without choice. I was born in a game whose rules I didn't write. Before I could walk, there were decisions made in rooms I never entered, on hospital charts, in school districts, in bank corridors that would shape the ceiling above my head. My mother bore the weight of rejection for simply being who she was. My father, too, was caught in a machine that churned dignity into survival. When I came, the system had already whispered what I could and could not be. Even the embrace I was given came with silent warnings. Be excellent, be quiet, be careful, be ready to be disbelieved. And so I learned to listen, not just to words, but to the air in the room. I became radar. Because the rules weren't written on the walls, they were in the pauses, and in the promotions that never came, and in the "we're moving your position" conversations that always landed on my desk, not theirs. The second rule: displacement disguised as discipline. I worked hard. I built things, real things, teams, system, nonprofits, solutions. They smiled. Then they moved the goalpost. And when I told the truth about the bias I faced, they changed my zip code. Not literally, but strategically. You can stay if you uproot everything. That was the real punishment for speaking up. My work was never the issue. My presence was. I learned the second rule: your excellence is welcome as long as it doesn't disrupt the comfort of those with power. So I left, again and again and again. And the machine said, "Look, he's always moving. He must be unstable." But it was never instability. It was resistance. The third rule: housing is not home. I earned what they told me to earn. I bought what they told me was wealth, a house, in a neighborhood that asked no questions. And when the wind shifted, they took it. Not all at once, but with fees and loans and market corrections and a pandemic-shaped net that caught corporations but let people like me fall through. I sold the home that had seen our children's birth, our holidays, our breakdowns, our rebuilds. And when I counted what was left, the system had already subtracted what was owed. Then I moved to rebuild again and was robbed. Not metaphorically, literally. Everything gone. And the machine didn't flinch because the third rule was already in place. Security is temporary when you don't own the locks to the vault. The fourth rule? Visibility without power. I walked into rooms where my age said mentor, but their eyes said maybe. I trained teams who became my bosses later on. I built bridges, but was never handed the keys. I taught, I led, I translated across culture and class, and was thanked quietly and passed over publicly. The fourth rule says you can lead the work, but not the institution. You can give your mind, but not receive the title. That kind of theft doesn't make headlines, but it leaves scars. The fifth rule: trust must be branded to be believed. When I began to tell the truth, not just mine, but ours, I found new resistance. The platforms made it harder for my words to be seen. Algorithms became gatekeepers. Stories of Black history, injustice, and repair were buried beneath distractions and trends. The machine had upgraded. Now the fifth rule was clear. Your story is only valid if it fits the narrative we're selling. So I started my own, not to become famous, but to remember, to bear witness, to give language to those still learning how to name what they felt all their lives. The invisible rules are not just mine. You might think that this is just my story. It is not. It is a mirror. I'm telling you this without my name so you can see yours in it. Because for every one of me, there are 1,000 more, dancing between survival and dignity, whispering wisdom into rooms that weren't built for their voices, building families and futures with fewer tools and more pressure. These rules were written before us, but they are not etched in stone, and together we can rewrite them. Until reparations comes, until the ledger is balanced, until every life has room to breathe. This is my life, but it won't be the last life touched by these rules unless we change them. If you're still here, thank you for hanging out this long. Please hit the like and subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that I can bring you more content like this.